Yes. Hey, everybody, I want to give a warm welcome to Phil Armstrong, the Executive Director for Greenwood Rising. Phil, come on up, bud.
Can we all stand, please? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That's a hard act to follow right there. Well, Phil, thank you so much. What a beautiful way to start such a gorgeous day. We ordered this weather just for you. So for my team members who just flew into Tulsa for the first time to see this, it's always like this. So interestingly enough, as I was thinking about this and I look at this crowd, I thought about the 7-year journey that started with a conversation of could we bring BMX to Tulsa to where we are today with this beautiful facility behind us. And interestingly enough, there was one common question that came out of all the community town hall meetings. I think our team and our BMX racers, we know it, we feel it. The community was, really the question was, what is BMX? What does BMX stand for? Genuine excitement, genuine curiosity. And it's interesting because BMX by definition stands for bicycle motocross, but as this crowd knows, it's much, much more than that, depending on where you are in life. So simply put, BMX is a deep-seated culture that connects more of us than you probably realize. Just ask this crowd, right? BMX is the foundation of all cycling because probably 9 out of 10 of you started riding a bike. When you started riding a bike, you're on a BMX bike. BMX is a lifestyle. BMX is a family. BMXers have grit. BMXers by nature are resilient, tenacious, daring, passionate, fearless, and as many of us here know today, sometimes a little rambunctious. The dynamic ethos of BMX is an energy and passion that transcends all socioeconomic boundaries because it provides opportunity for all, regardless of ethnicity, race, and doesn't matter where you came from. So for our 52,000 competitors at over 300 tracks around the country, what is BMX? BMX is an opportunity to follow the footsteps of their heroes and to taste down their dreams. It's an opportunity to have a stage upon which our riders can challenge themselves by excelling both physically and mentally. It's an opportunity to create a network of supported Miss Friends and mentors that provide guidance and motivation. Am I right? Yeah. For our Olympians, for Elise Willoughby, 3-time Olympian, 2016 Olympic silver medalist. For Connor, 3-time Olympian, 2016 gold medalist. For Corbin, two-time Olympian. Brooke Crane, two-time Olympian. For Felicia and Peyton, made their Olympic debut in Tokyo. For them, the opportunity to be the elite athlete that rises to the pinnacle of our sport, as well as becoming a beacon of inspiration for every BMXer and cyclist on the planet. What about our families? What is BMX? It's an opportunity to bond with their children and create lifelong memories. It's an opportunity to meet new people and compete not only across the United States, but for many across the world. What about our schools? Bixby, Tulsa, Union, everybody else, Sand Springs. It's an opportunity to leverage our foundation. Our foundation has already to date impacted 225,000 students with BMX nationwide. It's a chance to immerse our next generation into STEAM camps, Read to Ride initiatives, and track modeling programs through BMX. What about for Tulsa? What about our city? What about this downtown? It's an opportunity to showcase the unique vibe of this great city that so many of our visitors can now see firsthand, and why Tulsa is being showcased all over the world for the creative and innovative investments we've made in our quality of place. And what about the land we're standing on now and the underserved, the history? What is BMX? BMX is an opportunity for a different perspective and for a chance. Our foundation will launch a new initiative on Juneteenth called Rise Tulsa, serving the underserved youth of North Tulsa in collaboration with Dr. Crutcher and many of you in here who have reached out to be a part of this, and her wonderful team at the Terrence Crutcher Foundation. To our new neighbors, I can promise you that our team wants to see a champion rise from this neighborhood to represent us on the global scale. USA BMX is supporting the Greenwood Rising Museum to assist in educating the general public about the crimes that took place in Greenwood so that our future generations can learn never to repeat them. We'll be working with Joy and local artists to provide a rotating exhibit that tells the story of the survivors and their descendants. You may have seen that as you walk into the lobby. But this will also accompany the beautiful sculpture you see around you by Shane Darwin, Colby Ari, Adam Baldwin, and Jones Plan, which serves as both a beacon of reflection and respect for the past, but also inspires equity, inclusion, and opportunity as BMX helps a future generation in Greenwood and North Tulsa bridge that gap. Outside the excitement, roaring crowds, the music, and the glitz of the lights that will happen here, BMX changes lives. I can recall over 10 instances just this past year where parents have come up to me thanking me for what we do, whether it's racing, freestyle, pump, whether it's drugs, mental illness, wellness, abuse, adverse environments, or bullying. BMX has saved lives by providing an opportunity to focus elsewhere, to escape, to cope, to express, to bond, and to explore. And that's all simply done by pedaling a bike and riding towards a goal. On a personal note, that's what BMX means to me. The heart of BMX is strong. To date, the USA BMX Foundation has raised $10 million for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We have a Bob Warnicki Scholarship, and we've awarded over $1 million in educational funding. We're also working with TCF on a Resilient Schools initiatives to help eliminate active shooters in schools and terrorism on our students. I'm Shane Fernandez, President of USA BMX, United States BMX Foundation, and welcome to the USA BMX headquarters, the Hardesty National BMX Stadium, and USA BMX Foundation and National Hall of Fame. Today we're standing in a symbolic and physical intersection of world-class racing, opportunity, education, equity, wellness. BMXers come from all walks of life. And it's our goal in our intersection right here to create new leaders in our history, or whether it's on our track or on the community. So what does it mean for BMX, for our team? Would our team members please raise their hands so we can all see you? BMX is their purpose. They eat, sleep, breathe, and dream BMX. I promise you, it's true. The text messages, the emails are nonstop. The commitment is unbelievable. I have never seen the work ethic. The average tenure of our team is over 20 years. This team is amazing. Bernie, BA, the Anderson family, and our team, congratulations on this incredible achievement that's a result of decades of your focus, hard work, and commitment. This is your legacy. USA BMX is the largest youth cycling organization and action sports promoter in the U.S. This facility will draw over 200,000 visitors annually with programming 6 days a week. And we have no signs of slowing down. You're all very familiar with the logo that many of you saw when we were putting this out to the community. What you don't know is the team I was just telling you about. They've created 3 new business revenue models. USA BMX Freestyle, Harley Davidson, and their e-bike series is now coming to Tulsa with a world championship event. Mayor? Yeah. And we've also started ABA Ethos, which is an architecture construction group designed specifically for development of projects just like this. You're going to hear later how many cities are actually in the crowd right now to see what we're doing here in Tulsa. So thank you all. I'm humbled to have the privilege of introducing our speakers who have joined us today. And it's beyond fitting that Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell is here to celebrate today's historic event. The past 3 years have been beyond challenging for all of us. Many organizations similar to USA BMX have struggled to regroup and operate in these difficult times. Host national tournaments. This is not a story of USA BMX, and much of that has to do with Matt Pinnell's support. A lot of us were there that day. On June 6, 2020, USA BMX was the first organization to host a major amateur national sporting event right here in Oklahoma at Mays County BMX. Mays County, raise your hand and clap. Thank you. On that day, Lieutenant Governor Pinnell celebrated this occasion and enthusiastically welcomed the BMX community to Oklahoma to begin rebuilding our sport. Matt's attendance and support was one of the most critical catalysts that allowed us to host events in other states and other communities. In 2020, from that point on, USA BMX hosted 22 safe and successful events. Because of his support, I'm beyond proud to tell you that today USA BMX has the largest membership in the history of the sport. More than 31% above average in 2019, and that was pre-pandemic. National Grands Nationals here in Tulsa became the largest BMX event in the world. I'm going to stop talking. Let's welcome the Lieutenant Governor.
Well, he's exiting the stage. But ladies and gentlemen, this will be the first of many rounds of applause for Shane Fernandez. That's right. The city we see around us, it's because of passionate individuals that get behind a cause, and certainly what you see today. But as you said, you're not stopping now. So what an amazing day for Tulsa and for, yes, the state of Oklahoma. As Secretary of Tourism and Branding for the state of Oklahoma, I assure you, it does not get much better than this. It's spectacular. We very rarely, any lieutenant governor in any state across the country, very rarely get to stand in front of podiums like this, in front of world-class facilities like this. It just so happens, though, that Mayor Bynum and I have been able to do this quite a bit over the last couple years in Tulsa, America, because of Greenwood Rising, because of the gathering place, because of the world-class, and I mean world-class, facilities that are truly putting Tulsa, America on the map. And again, a round of applause of everybody here that has made this possible. The tourism dollars, I mean, again, as your Secretary of Tourism, here are the numbers. We generate over $720 million a year in state and local tax revenue off of our tourism industry. It's the third largest industry in the state of Oklahoma today. Most people don't realize that. My goal is to be a billion-dollar state when it comes to our tourism industry, which would move us into the first or second largest industries in the state. Again, that doesn't happen without having world headquarters like this in the state of Oklahoma. So again, the goal is $1 billion, and we are well on our way. The other big reason that this is such a big deal is certainly it's going to create a different narrative about the state of Oklahoma. That was one of the big reasons that I ran for office in the first place, of changing the narrative about the state. This is an amazing state, not just an okay state, right? Can I get an amen? Right? This is a great state. But for us to make sure that we can demonstrate that, we have to make sure that we have the building blocks across our 77 counties. This is not a dust bowl. This is one of the most diverse states in America and one of the best quality of life in America for us to recruit the next generation of workers into the city of Tulsa. And I know the mayor certainly has echoed that in speeches as well. Which certainly leads me to my final point. Tourism is the front door to economic development. I mention it everywhere I go. The tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, as Shane said, that are going to be coming into this facility that have never been to Oklahoma before, never been to Tulsa before, and they're going to have that imagine that moment. I had no idea that Oklahoma was this amazing. And it is going to lead to other conversations that I've heard from Oklahomans that have moved here over the last couple years. We've had over 27,000 people move to Oklahoma since April of 2020. We have tens of thousands of people moving here because they first did a tourism trip here. And these facilities, those front doors, is really the front door to the rest of the economic development that I believe we are going to see in this city, in this state moving forward. And I'll close again with this. I loved what Shane said, and he mentioned it. He mentioned the word in what he just said, the vibe, right? There was a great Tulsa World article covering Shane, and again, just the history of how we are, where we are today. And he said, again, it's the vibe of Tulsa that made us the most desirable destination. I think let's keep that vibe going, right? Tulsa is not the next Nashville. It's not the next Austin. Tulsa's the next Tulsa. I've got this shirt that says it, right? Tulsa's the next. I don't want their vibe. I want Tulsa's vibe. And we need to make sure that we continue to talk about that in a positive way for us to, again, get more people living here. And again, the kids that are growing up in this state, on the north side, east side, south, wherever, making sure they know that we as a city and as a state are investing in them. So again, they'll want to make sure that they can live here when they grow up and find a job here. So on behalf of the state of Oklahoma, I want to just thank all these people that I see on this banner back here, from the Hardesty family to the city, to the chamber, to the vision that our mayor, again, and previous mayors have had, and to Shane and his team, the public-private partnership that this is. Again, I look forward to watching the momentum over the next 10 years in this city and the vibe that is going to be on display in a world-class way. So, ladies and gentlemen, Tulsa, stay gold. Thank you all so much. Appreciate you.
Matt, on behalf of our team, we want to present you in the state of Oklahoma with a true BMX trophy. So, thank you.
My first and only.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're going to change that. Thank you so much. Extremely inspiring. I love hearing the trend we're seeing with Oklahoma. Lieutenant Governor, thank you. Well, our next speaker needs no introduction. I consider the Honorable Mayor Bynum a friend, and also just you're pretty amazing, man. Yeah, Mayor Bynum, as we went through all the ups and downs of where this project was going to be, he never lost sight in the excitement of what needed to happen. So with that, Mayor Bynum, please come up. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you how awesome it is to follow Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell. It's really lacking in charisma or excitement. Both things I just exude, I know. I want to take a minute because I want to congratulate everybody who's here. Think about, for any of us, in our own lives, how often we get to actually be a part of history. And for every person who's here today, for the rest of your life, you'll be able to say that you were there the day that the Greenwood District became the home of an Olympic sport. This is a historic day for our city, and I am so grateful for the people who made it happen. I want to thank a number of folks. I want to thank the citizens of Tulsa who approved funding for this facility when we didn't even know where it was going to go. They loved the idea of being home to USA BMX. They loved what it could mean for Tulsa, and they approved by a more than 2-to-1 margin when given the opportunity to fund this facility. They turned out in record numbers and said, yes, we want to be a part of that. So thank you to the citizens of Tulsa. Council who put it on the ballot. We have a number of city councilors who are here today. See Councilor Harper, whose district we are in, Councilor McKee, Councilor Arthur Knizik. No, Councilor Lakin, who literally shed blood for this project, is here today. I also want to thank my colleagues on the council when we put this on the ballot, including one of the most enthusiastic supporters for it, Councilor Blake Ewing and Councilor Jack Henderson. And I also want to thank my predecessor, Mayor Dewey Bartlett, who was mayor when we got this initiative passed. I want to thank the Hardesty family for believing in this project. I was pretty nervous when we went to ask them to be our partners in making this happen, and it took almost no time for them to say, yes, this is something we want to partner with the city and with BMX on to make it a reality. So to the Hardesty family, thank you. I want to thank the team at the City of Tulsa who oversaw so much of this project. I see our city engineer, Paul Zachary, hiding in the back as normal. Mary Kell from our engineering team, Nick Doctor, who was my Chief of Community Development and Policy in my first term. We wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Nick's work. I want to thank them and so many others at the City of Tulsa who believed in this project. But more than anything, today, I'm here on behalf of 400,000 of my fellow Tulsans to thank the team at BMX for believing in Tulsa. And seeing what this facility could mean to our community, that it could be about so much more. I remember in the early going, after the voters had approved the funding, and the team at BMX was looking at different sites around town and almost went to one other location, and then that didn't pan out. And we had the opportunity to reevaluate, and my team in the mayor's office brought this site forward to the team at BMX. And they immediately got how transformative putting this project in the Greenwood District could be for our community, how it could make it about so much more than just the wonder for Tulsa of being home to this remarkable sport, but what it could mean for a community that is working to heal and to revitalize. So thank you to the team at BMX. You know, where we are, it is sacred ground. For all of us in Tulsa, it is sacred ground. It is also a very historic site in the development of our city. Most of the steel and iron that went into building Tulsa in the 21st century came from where you are right now, from this site. This is the site that built the Tulsa of the 20th century. And what I love about this project more than anything else is that the spirit of this site is what is going to build the Tulsa of the 21st. So thank you to the team at BMX, to the citizens of Tulsa, to everybody here who played a part in making this project happen and that future happen for our city. Our community is so grateful. And Shane, thank you for believing in this, being I think a lot of the reason the council got on board with this originally is because we believed in Shane and his enthusiasm and passion for this project. We trusted him. We know that he puts Tulsa first. So Shane, I'm going to echo the Lieutenant Governor, and I imagine probably everybody else today, in saying thank you.
appreciate you. Yes. Mayor, on behalf of our team, we wanted to give you your first BMX. Not your first, maybe? Okay. Thank you so much, and this is for the city of Tulsa. And as you mentioned, all the partners, the city councilor, Councilor Harper, thank you so much for your patience. Really, thank you so for sticking to the vision. Thank you. All right. Well, you guys have heard from our fellow Okies about how much BMX means, but I think it's important that you get to hear from the man behind the curtain. So we all have probably one of the coolest CEOs in our company. BA, if you wouldn't mind, you come up here and talk a little bit about the history of how we got here.
Well, I have to follow two excellent speakers, and I can't even jump up on the stage like they're Bynum. So, but thank you, Lieutenant Governor Pinnell. Thank you, Mayor Bynum. We're just a very humbling experience that all of you guys are here, and just amazing. Goes without saying, I need to thank the citizens of Tulsa for sharing in our vision, as well as Visit Tulsa and Tulsa Tourism. We are for sharing in our vision. And I'm going to quit saying that. I'm going to pull up my notes before I get out of this. So thank you, Visit Tulsa, for sharing in our vision, a vision of a world-class BMX facility right here in Tulsa, in the heart of the Greenwood District. However, as Mayor Bynum knows, none of this would have been possible without the generosity of the Hardesty Family Foundation. Thank you, Michelle, for your generosity. There was a time when we thought this might not happen, but because of Mayor Bynum's commitment, we're here. So it wouldn't have happened without you, Mayor. Thank you. So when I was 6 years old, I'm not going to go through my entire life story, but when I was 6 years old, I saw a TV show called Kids Time Out. At the time, there was kids on bicycles imitating motorcycles. Later, I come to find out it was actually a good friend of mine that eventually became a good friend of ours, and a Hall of Fame member, Eric Root. So at 6 years old, I told my dad I wanted to race BMX, and he handed me the yellow pages. Said, find out where to go. So as a 6-year-old, I'm calling all over town, trying to find a BMX race. So ultimately, I found our first BMX race. It was the Schwinn Shop had a race the first Saturday of every October. Unfortunately for me, it was November. So we waited a whole year for our first BMX race. That is something that kids in Tulsa do not have to worry about. Through USA BMX educational STEM programs, local beginner racing leagues, open racing and practice, as well as annual national and international events, BMX will be ingrained into the culture of Tulsa. No yellow pages required. This facility will have elite riders from around the world training side by side with brand new beginners at different times, of course. But first and foremost, we are here for the local community. And that's what I'm most excited about. I cannot wait to see all the new faces when they experience BMX for the first time. But words cannot describe what a momentous occasion this is for the sport of BMX. Today marks the day that our sport can finally put a stake in the ground that will forever honor the accomplishments of our top athletes, as well as honor the ingenuity and creativity of BMX manufacturers past and present. But as Mayor said, or Lieutenant Governor said, this building does not just represent the past and our history. This building represents the future of BMX as well. This building will inspire generations of BMX racers just to have their name mentioned in this building. So with that, I'd like to thank our team. It takes a great team to make this happen. So the entire staff at USA BMX, I'd like to thank you for your dedication to this project as well. Thank you, guys. So, my father, Bernie Anderson, Chairman Emeritus, owner of ABA, American Bicycle Association, without his guidance and leadership, this sport would not look like what it is today. Thank you, Dad. Thank you from the entire sport for what you've done. So I'm also especially happy that my wife, Amy, could join us today, as well as our sons, Gavin and Shane. Thank you guys for taking off of school and coming out here. We actually have 4 generations of the Anderson family in attendance today. So one of my personal heroes from back in the day, my brother, B.R. Anderson, factory pro neck, his wife, Davina, my sister, Debbie Hominick, and her husband, John Hominick, and my sister, Karen, are here, all with their kids as well, who were all BMX racers also back in the day. So, my sister, Kay, as well, I'm sure is here watching from somewhere. And my mom could not make it today. She is at home watching. So, my mom, Edson Anderson, and my dad, Bernie, were started at Lone Star BMX as track operators. So, and my mom was a head scorer, took registration, did the whole thing. So, we started as track operators, and we're back at it. We're track operators again, and I can't wait. So, it is my honor to welcome you to the new home of the Hardesty National BMX Track Stadium, USA BMX Headquarters, USA BMX Foundation, and the National BMX Hall of Fame and Museum. Thank you guys for coming.
Congrats, BA. Congrats, Bernie. Congrats, the Anderson family. I know this has got to be amazing. So, all right, our next speaker, I know a lot of you know him. I do as well. He's a friend, but Mike Neal, good luck trying to follow all of this, buddy. So I'm going to heckle you from the side, but Mike is the CEO of the Tulsa Regional Chamber. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Shane. I used to call you a really good friend until you told me I had to follow this dynamic lieutenant governor, best lieutenant governor in America, and this dynamic young mayor, the best mayor in America. It's just terrible. B.A. and I had to come up here and make fools out of ourselves after that, but B.A., you did great. Let me first begin by thanking Shane and Marnie and everyone, and certainly to thank the Anderson family. You guys have put your heart, your soul, your life into this, and we in this community are very thankful that we get to benefit from the work you've done for decades, and thank you for that. We at the Chamber are so honored to be here today to celebrate the grand opening of this world-class headquarters, this stadium, and this Hall of Fame. To the Hardesty family again, I can't echo it enough. Thank you for your continued investment in our community, and certainly thank you for this. When I look at this amazing facility, and I've been driving by for several years now, looking at it under construction, the word that immediately springs to my mind is investment. There is USA BMX's long-term investment in our region, of course, but also the investment that Tulsa voters made in our city back in 2016 when Mayor Bartlett, the Tulsa City Council, and then later when Mayor Bynum and the City Council and the city staff came together. But I think what many of you will recall is we at the Chamber were blessed. We're fortunate to work with our city and our county when there's public referendums like this. And Mayor Bynum talked about the phenomenal support that this public showed, but we were so pleased to have a chance to do that. And I think it's proof positive that our community, I think, as we differentiate ourselves from so many others because we invest in ourselves. We've seen that investment this time. We've seen that investment so many times before when we opened One Oak Field, when we opened the BOK Center. We can do that today. And I think nearly 6 years later, after the passage of Vision, this facility will really add to, I think, the phenomenal resurgence of Tulsa's historic Greenwood District. Make no mistake, thousands upon thousands of individuals will come to our community to see these world-class athletes. They'll walk through these doors. They'll see what amazing talent they have. They'll bring with them their friends, their families, and their fans from across the world. But also, they're going to get a chance to come here and see what Tulsa's all about. The lieutenant governor and the mayor nailed it. Phil Armstrong set the stage with his beautiful national anthem. Phil, there's no one better to sing anything than you. You're the best, my friend. Thank you. But the work that has been done at Greenwood Rising with Phil and his team, Senator Matthews, people will come to our city. They'll see that. They'll come see our local restaurants, our local businesses. They'll go through the doors of Silhouette Sneakers and Arts. They'll go to Wanda J's. They'll go visit so many businesses in our community throughout the Greenwood District and throughout Tulsa. But the numbers are staggering, and I could go on forever. They've asked me to play the role of economist today. You've been sitting too long, but I won't do that for you. But I will just say one thing. Back in 2020, 7.2 million people visited the city of Tulsa. 7.2 million people. And they spent $845 million, generating an economic impact of some $1.2 billion, according to an annual study by Oxford Economics. Marketable visits, purely leisure trips rather than trips to visit friends or relatives, accounted for some 3.2 million visitors to our region. Local tourism supports more than 15,300 jobs in our city. In the state, and local taxes sustained by tourism alone offset some $590 of taxes that each one of us here today, actually that each one of our households today does not have to pay. So thanks to these visitors, we get to save nearly $600 a year. Thank you so much for that. Again, I just want to thank our Tulsa Regional Tourism team. I want to thank our Tulsa Sports Commission team who have worked hand in hand with Shane, with the entire BMX family for years. If you look at BMX, you know, we say if you look at the next decade, our tourism is going to be phenomenal. But if you look just back at the past decade, BMX has brought in more than 97,000 visitors that have had an economic impact of $125 million on the city of Tulsa. So I think those numbers are going to grow significantly in the coming year. So again, on behalf of the Tulsa Regional Chamber, welcome USA BMX. We're so thrilled to have you here for a lifetime. Thank you so much.
Don't you leave. We got to get hold on. Mike, this pains me to give you this trophy just because of how much you heckle me. But thank you so much. We've had a lot of conversations over the years to make this happen, a lot of behind-the-scenes conversations. You guys never gave up. I expect to see this displace all those football trophies in your office. So we'll
have a great home for it. I don't have to ride, do I?
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you guys. Well, Mike mentioned sports and tourism because they go hand in hand, especially with a facility like this. So the next speaker I'd like to bring up is Ashley Backer, their interim senior vice president of regional tourism, and so she can say a few words about what their perspective was like with to bring this here. So Ashley, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shane. I appreciate that. You know, all of us at one point have admired the work of friends, colleagues, or even an entire organization. My admiration for USA BMX was just that for my first 7 years of my career running sports commissions. I've had the pleasure of watching BA, John David, work with so many communities around this country, some of which are here with us today, as they build not only economic growth, but lasting memories for the athletes they serve. When I was offered the sales position with Tulsa Regional Tourism just over 2 years ago, I was thrilled at the many opportunities it would give me, but more importantly, I was excited to work even closer with BMX and the broad communities that they serve. Tulsa has served as the mecca for athletes for the last 25 years as Expo Square has hosted the BMX Grand Nationals, a true culmination of a year's worth of hard work by the nation's top talent, starting as young as 3 and 4 years old. And again, each of them make their way to Tulsa every Thanksgiving. When the opportunity to potentially discuss relocating USA BMX headquarters here as part of the Vision Tulsa package in 2016, it almost seemed too good to be true. At that time, an almost 20-year partnership already made them feel like a Tulsa-based organization. But now we would be able to make Tulsa the beating heart of BMX year-round. After long deliberations, working on multiple contracts, and getting many players involved, that discussion became the catalyst for what you guys see here today. As we have watched the facility become more of a reality with each beam, brick, and yard of dirt being installed, the work and dreams of the Tulsa Sports Commission, Tulsa Regional Tourism, and the BMX team almost does not match the product you see today. I say this. The result of this partnership is more than just a facility where the talented athletes from across the world will come to be trained and recognized. The product is a gateway to experience the history of the land it sits on. It will become a career goal for a new generation of athletes and support staff. It will become an educational opportunity to further the sport through STEM, and it will become a sanctuary for those that call BMX their sport. I cannot say thank you enough to BMX for entrusting Tulsa in this next chapter of their story. BA, Shane, John David, and the whole entire USA BMX staff. We have your back no matter what course lies ahead. Welcome to the Tulsa team. Thank you.
Ashley, like we've been saying, it's taken a team to make this happen. On behalf of USA BMX, we'd like to honor the Sports Commission and take this and thank you for your hard work and your belief in us. Thank you so much. So as we've been building this, it's been interesting. I want to say I appreciate everybody's patience because it shows how excited the general public is about what we're doing. The problem has been our team is out racing and our new team here hasn't really settled in until about 2 weeks ago. So that kind of left me trying to navigate a lot of stuff. So thanks to everybody for your patience. However, I got to say, as the community has reached out, there's been one individual that has been really enthusiastic. She has come up with lots of ideas. She's been meeting with our team. And so I thought what I might do is ask Star Fisher to come up and talk a little bit about what she's seeing from her perspective as we have gotten to know her. Our team is getting settled in. Star's been great. She represents the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce and also Miss Black Oklahoma. So thank you so much.
I have my notes here too as well. When Shane asked me to be here today, it was an easy yes. Yes, because of history. Yes, for Tulsa. Tulsa kids who dream. And yes, for the future. This is yet another incredible opportunity for Tulsa to be on the world stage. Another opportunity to gather patrons of all ages, internal and external tourists, to share Oklahoma's unique culture and its contribution to America's rich history. The word that always seems to come to mind with me and Shane when we converse is serendipity. But make no mistake about it, I do not believe in accidents. I believe in divine appointment. For the past few years, I've been afforded the opportunity to work with the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce, and as a stakeholder, I've been able to provide valuable input regarding the district logo, centennial activities, and organize peaceful events that drew tens of thousands of patrons to the Greenwood district during President Trump's 2020 campaign here in downtown Tulsa. So as the Director of Special Events and Programming for the World Conference of Mayors, Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance, and the founder of the Black Wall Street Affiliate Program, today I bring you greetings from around the globe. Greetings from Haiti, Taiwan, Belize, Canada, Africa, in addition to 75 plus Black Wall Street affiliate chapters and our 52 plus in these here United States. The Black Wall Street Affiliate Program was created to serve as a catalyst for organizations, business entities whose visions and missions directly align with the growth and rebuilding of Black Wall Street, reimagined. Reimagined growth through achievement, integrity, innovation, and collaborative leadership. Black Wall Street Reimagined is neither a geographical location, nor is it just a moment. It's a movement. Like hip hop, Black Wall Street is a culture, a state of mind, as is BMX. BMX is a state of being, a lifestyle, a testimony, and a spirit that transcends time. And it requires its warriors to be armed with the 7 T's. This is what I call the 7 T's. Trust, trade, tourism, technology, twin cities, treasury, and training. It also requires self-sacrifice from the soul of the community that it was birthed from. And also those same warrior traits from friends of the movement as well. The vision and leadership of USA BMX embodies those elements and so much more. So on behalf of the World Conference of Mayors, Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance, and the Black Wall Street Affiliate Program, I would like to present the Black Wall Street Reimagined Seal of Approval. This is the first and only African American heritage crest and is in the Smithsonian. And it says, the Black Wall Street Affiliate Program would like to welcome USA BMX. We're certain that you feel the same sense of pride we share in being on the right side of history. The Black Wall Street Affiliate Program was founded in the heart of the historic Greenwood District, also known as Black Wall Street, and home of the oldest black chamber in the country. The Greenwood Chamber serves as both a forum for the exchange of innovative ideas as a resource for current trends and in commerce. The Black Wall Street Affiliate Program was established not only to serve the community in which it's surrounded, but to also preserve, protect, and promote the historic black towns and settlements in our great nation and around the globe through economic development, technology, financial literacy, and legacy building. As founder of the Black Wall Street Affiliate Program, I proudly present to you the Black Wall Street Seal of Approval. It is the first African American heritage crest and is in the Smithsonian. This seal of approval is a symbol of legacy building, wealth creation, and a commitment to working diligently with our local, national, global partners, and is a reminder that wealth creation must be intentional. The Black Wall Street Affiliate Program sets the standard by which those and all goals of affiliates can be reached. USA BMX, your legacy stands alone and on its own accord. You are now part of an elite group who create, represent, advocate, and advise on behalf for the betterment of Black Wall Street Reimagined. Thank you, USA BMX, for your dedication to achievement, integrity, innovation, collaborative leadership, and building Black Wall Streets across America and around the globe. I'm going to get you another one.
Okay. My gosh, Star, thank you so much. Did not expect this. I was actually going to give you something, but I'll tell you from the bottom of our heart, we really appreciate you. We appreciate all our neighbors and the patience you've had with us. Cannot wait to see where we go. We too have something for you, but it's not a trophy yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know, BMXers work hard, so you and I have to build.
We have to build.
We got to build some cool programs. So you get one of our official USA construction hats.
Got your uniform?
No, you got it. No, other way.
Is that the way?
There you go.
Clearly, I don't build.
Thank you, Star.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
I'm going to get you a new frame.
Okay,
I'll hold it for you.
thank you. Thank you so much, Star. We laugh a lot when we talk. I think it's just great ideas feeding off one another. Okay, last speaker of the day. One of our most probably tactical team members as we have races across the country, across the world. John David has the opportunity to go and talk with cities, to talk a lot about the things we're hearing today: tourism, sports, incentives, growth, economic impact. So with that, I'd like to invite John David up, our Chief Strategy Officer. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Shane. I can't tell you how honored I am to be our last speaker today, to get you guys into this amazing facility. One of the biggest questions I get over and over and over again: why Tulsa? This is why Tulsa. I can tell you with conviction, this is the greatest day of my 25-year career here in BMX. No other project has been more significant for our organization, and more importantly, no other project has meant more to a community. Facilities like this are built step by step, brick by brick, relationship by relationship, friendship by friendship. 12 years ago, USA BMX was almost an unknown in the world of sports tourism. Today, USA BMX is a premier brand known for hosting amazing events that benefit their host communities with tremendous economic impact. Along the way, these relationships have paved the way for projects that were the very building blocks of what you all see today. We're beyond honored to have so many of our great partners and representatives, and I want to take a moment to thank them for attending this celebration. Representing the Sports Salt Lake and our annual Great Salt Lake Nationals, Chris Robertson. Representing the Cobb County Sports Alliance and our annual Dixieland Nationals, Miss Rachel Rogers. Representing the Albuquerque Sports Commission and the annual Spring Nationals, Miss Angie Jespin. Representing the City of Rock Hill, the annual Carolina Nationals, Hall of Famer, Mike King. Representing the Louisville Sports Commission and the annual Derby City Nationals, our dear friend, Mr. Greg Fonte. Like Tulsa, these communities committed millions of dollars to their BMX facilities and programs. They truly believed in the power of BMX, both from an economic impact standpoint and as a community builder. Thank you for believing in us. Our success with these partners has created an entirely new category of recreational cycling and facility development. Today, we have representatives from several communities that don't have a BMX track. They came here to see firsthand the power of partnership with a great sport and power of partnership with a great destination. As the foremost specialist in action sport facility development, our new entity, ABA Ethos, will work with these entities to build amazing new bike parks for their communities to attract major events. We're also honored to have some of the best leadership in sports tourism on a national level here today. John Schmieder, Eric Olson, our partners from Huddled Up Group, thank you for shepherding the RFP process and getting us to this point. Our Industry Trade Association, the Sports and Events Tourism Association today, represented by Jennifer Stoll, our board chair, the executive vice president of the executive director of the Lansing Sports Authority, as well as board member Jason Gewirtz, the vice president of sports of North Star Meeting Group and the executive editor of Sports Travel. Thank you for joining us today. We must also recognize 3 very special BMX programs that have been a part of the building blocks of who we are. Each of these amazing individuals have operated BMX track at the highest of levels for more than 40 years. From Cobb County BMX, Margie and Joe Hatfield. From Rockford BMX, Brandon and Jake Carew. And from Black Mountain BMX, Debbie Kelly and our former president, Clayton John. Here in Tulsa, we have been overwhelmed by the support of your local hotels. I think from the looks of it, I think we've got almost all of you here. Hey guys, get ready. We got plans for you. Finally, I'd like to thank our great partners over at Expo Square. Mark Andrews, Amanda Blair, Gerald Young, and your entire team. Thank you for your unwavering support of the USA BMX Sooner Nationals and the USA BMX Grand Nationals. We look forward to hosting the world's largest BMX event every single year at Expo Square. Ladies and gentlemen, this facility is BMX. It's now the global headquarters for our sport, and together we will share the amazing sport of bicycle motocross with tens of thousands of Tulsans and hundreds of thousands of visitors internationally. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for making this, our BMX dream, a reality.
We'd be remiss to not thank some people individually because, as you heard, a lot of the speakers here, there were a lot of decision makers that happened that aren't up here today. I want to call out specifically and just thank Councilor Vanessa Hall Harbor. Thank you so much for your patience, your vision. You've been inspiration for me. Councilor Q, Patrick McKee, Nezik, Dodson Wright, my homeboy, Phil Aiken, and Councilor Fowler, thank you so much. Also, the commissioners, Karen Keith, Ron Peters, Stan Salee. I know he can't be here today. We've got a thank you gift for him as well. And then also Nick Doctor, Cayenne Camus. I know you were part of this, and Jim Coles. Where are you sitting quietly? And Jim, thank you so much. Jim was with me on the first trip when I got to meet our team back in Chula Vista. Also, the late David Patrick, Anna America, Blake Ewing, Commissioner Karen Gilbert, and then, as we mentioned, Jack Henderson, as well as the PR agencies that made sure that the campaign went through. I've got a couple personal thank yous. For the Tulsa Tax Oversight Committee, thank you. OSU, thank you for being a partner with us. Navels, where are you guys? Raise your hand. Look at this. I can't say enough about that team I consider my family. Feemster, Ryan, Barry, Daryl, Lauren, Eric, Juvenal, Mr. Mason, Mike, Brian, John, Mr. Hageman, Jake. Guys, thank you. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Todd Architecture, Whit Todd, Richard, Lisa, Laura, Mike, Chris, and Ted, thank you. Wallace Engineering, I see Charlie back there looming somewhere. Thank you guys. TFK Engineering, our neighbors at Greenwood, Craft and Toll, which was when we started this journey. I was representing them. Mr. Cash Matthews, where are you, sir? Most energetic, inspirational person if you ever want to hear about BMX here in Tulsa. So, Cash, thank you for everything you've done for us. Leadership from the leadership team from Sand Springs, May County, and Yukon BMX. Where are you guys? There you are. Thank you guys so much. Cannot wait to see where we can take this. Our friends at Bike Club, and then Byron Big Horse. I'd also want to say this comes from our team. We have a very special and heartfelt thank you to Ray Hoyt, who began this journey with me, literally, and Jim, and our team at USA BMX. Ray was truly instrumental in helping breathe life into all of this. Ray, thank you. To our team, thank you so much for the decades of dedication and hard work that you made to this dream possible. I hope you like what you see. We're going to keep growing this. There's more to come, I promise you. And if you don't mind, Michelle Hardesty, would you please come up? I've got something for you to thank you. Michelle, on behalf of our whole team, thank you. This would not have happened to this level. You're just such a wonderful family.
Thanks, Shane.
We got two more. They'll go quick. Mr. Jamie Staff, where are you? Is he here? Get over here. All right, I want you to meet USA Cycling's. He's our BMX coach for our national team and represented us at the Olympics. Jamie, thank you for being here, giving us guidance, being patient with us. Our team, the Olympians, again, thank you all for being here. On behalf of our staff, we just want to thank you personally, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. All right, this is the last one. I had to think about one person during this entire journey, big and small, all the meetings, all the drama. And you've heard all the meetings that have happened publicly, but what you haven't heard about are all the things that happened behind the scenes to accommodate 12 different sites, changes in tax, inflation, all the things. We have an MVP award, and this goes to Ryan O'Neill with Nabholz Construction. As he's walking up here, I cannot say enough about the city of Tulsa and the team. Mary, Paul, thank you guys so much. It's been amazing to see, especially in our industry, how this has worked together, the architecture group and construction. But Ryan, you didn't think this was coming, did you?
No. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Holy cow.
Let's take a picture. Come on, Ryder.
Shane, jerk, man.
All right, so Ryan's going to go down the big hill in his cowboy boots. Everybody, thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to have all the speakers come up. Vanessa Hall Harper, would you mind coming up as well? Michelle, we're going to do a ribbon cutting, and then Bernie as well. We're going to have 2 phases, and if we can get the all the city councilors together as well. So we'll go ahead and get that set up now. We're going to go down there.
Down here?
Oh, sorry. I don't want to. My ankles are all messed up. Like, oh. I'll get to see you up there.
Ask everyone to go inside first. And
Okay.
We'll get the others in.
All right, so just so you know, the doors are now open. You can take a look. Also, we're going to open this gate. We're going to have some of the Olympians and some of our elite riders and some of our top amateurs as well hitting the track, so you can check that out. Mary, Paul, city councilors, you guys want to come up? We're going to do a ribbon cutting for you all.
You guys ready to demo? Full laps. I gotta see some full laps out there.